Hey, lady, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's going on, everybody? Glad everybody's joining. We're going to wait a few minutes to let some people join in.
Hi, Ian. I'm sorry. I couldn't quit laughing long enough to pull the video.
Hold on one second. My phone won't stop talking to me. Stop talking. Good God. Okay, I think we're good now. I'm putting my headset on because apparently I've been getting some feedback lately, so I'm trying to use this and kind of cut back on that. That sound okay?
Yep.
Am I drinking milk? Is that what you said, Frank? No, I'm drinking Schlafly's. It's from St. Louis. It's a St. Louis beer. It's a white lager. It's good stuff.
I'm drinking Cabernet. I'm drinking it.
Ooh, aren't you fancy?
Yeah, just a little bit. Not so much. Well, thank you
All
for
right,
asking
we're getting
me. I'm really happy to be here.
I'm glad you were able to make it too. This is cool because, like I said, I want people to know who you are. You have a good product, and I want to have other people come and see what it's all about.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate the chance to chime in with your crowd here.
Absolutely. We've got a great crowd here. Hey, what's up? We got Jason here. We got Derek here. We've got Frank here. My mom is here. That's awkward. But no, this is going to be cool. And like I said, I just kind of want people to know a little more about you, about your company, why you decided to make a different brand and kind of venture that way around. And I'm going to actually shave with your product tonight. So just kind of give me a background. Tell me why you decided to change brands and why you wanted to make more of a man-based type brand.
Okay. Well, for those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Heather Felton, and I owned Smitten Soapery for almost 5 years. This would have been finishing up my 5th year in business. And a few years ago, I decided to start making men's products, and they sort of took over the majority of my sales, honestly. And, you know, Smitten Soapery is not very manly, so I wanted to rebrand into something a little bit more masculine in hopes to kind of expanding out. So that's where the rebrand came in. We actually just relaunched under Zingari Man in October, the end of October. So a lot of people are not familiar with the name, but if they've been following me as a business, you know, they knew the changeover was coming. So I kind of separated it. I have the Zingari Skin page, which has more of the women's products on it. And then I have the Zingari Man so that guys who are looking for the shave and the beard oils can go through that without having to go through all the products. So
now, of course, this is going to sound cliche, but what made you want to start making your own products?
I actually, my education is in laboratory science, and so I have a big science background. And several years ago, I started having issues with skin, which a lot of us in the formulating world, that's kind of how we start. So it kind of just started from there. I started with soaps, and then it just grew. And with my science background, the formulating side of it really just kind of took over. And I love, I still enjoy making regular soap, but I really love the formulating side of it and the science behind it. So it kind of came out of a necessity. I was just having a lot of issues with things that, with like reactions on my face and stuff. So it kind of just came out of that. So
is there a reason that you went vegan to begin with?
No, and it's not because I'm vegan or vegetarian or anything. It just kind of worked out that way. I started with a vegan base. My previous formula was okay. For those of you who used it before, don't hold that against me. It's obviously, it's not anywhere near as good as my current formula is. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of started there, and so I just stayed there. I have done some testing with some tallow soaps, and maybe in the spring I'll do like a limited edition release with a tallow base.
Okay. Well, I will tell you, obviously I have a couple soaps behind me, but I will say that of all the vegans that I've tried, you are definitely within the top 3, and that's surprising. Now, of course, you talked a big game, and of course, I immediately thought, well, I'll have to see this for myself, and you proved me wrong. I mean, it's good stuff. I'm actually going to do a one-pass shave with it right now, so people who have not used your product can see. I've been actually I had some water in here right now. I'll be just trying to soften up a little bit. And for the first time ever, I installed a cobalt knot into this gorgeous made knot handle by Wild West Brushworks. Super happy with this. Blue is my favorite color, so I'm super happy. I'm going to use this for the first time tonight.
That's a great handle. I love the colors on that.
I have to thank Reyes and a few others who have been looking out for me. I told them I had this cobalt knot and I had to find the right handle for it, and I really like this one. No, Frank, no leg shave.
Nobody wants to see me shave my legs. I don't know about Brian's, but nobody wants to see me shave my legs.
I was going to say, I don't really mind, but, you know. But the one thing I'll tell you right off the bat with your soap, too, is it's very similar to Frank from Strike Old Shave, is that it lathers very, very easily. A lot of vegan bases that I've tried before seem to be a little thirsty. Nothing wrong with that. But yours lathers very, very easily. I'm putting little effort into this whatsoever.
Awesome. Yeah. Whenever I decided to reformulate and improve the shave soap itself, that was one of the big issues I had with my previous. Cucumber butter definitely makes a thirsty soap, and mine was high cucumber butter. So yeah, that was something
hey, what's up, Zach?
Looking forward to changing actually. So my primary focus, because I have such sensitive skin, is always the number one goal for all of my products is actually for people with sensitive skin, dry skin, and things like that to not cause any irritation. So that's always my primary goal. And then I go from there, and then I tweak the things that I feel like needs to be addressed. And the loading was definitely an issue for me before.
And well, like I said, as you can see, I put no effort behind this. I just bloomed the soap a little bit. I had some hot water soaking in it for a few minutes. Get your hand off the mic. My hand's not on the mic. Who are you yelling at? Who's yelling at me? Hold on. Yo's family's in the house. Yeah, my mom and one of my boys are here watching. What's going on, everybody? It was cool when Rob hooked up. I can't read it. It's going too fast. A vid to make a collab soap. Zingari. Yeah. And how do you say your name correctly, by the way?
It's Zingari.
Zingari. Okay, my fault.
Like the fish.
That's what it's based off. Why did you come up with the name?
Well, whenever I was rebranding, I wanted. Everybody kept telling me to do something, for myself and like somehow put my name in it. And I really didn't want to do that, but I love to travel. And I really am wanting to build my brand on like diversity and like acceptance of other cultures and like just backgrounds and religions. And I feel like we all have something to learn from everybody, whether you agree with anything, like 100% of somebody's lifestyle, there's always something positive to take away and something you can always learn from it. And
sure.
Zingari is actually Italian for traveler or gypsy.
Oh, so okay. That's where all the names for your soaps come from, right?
Yep.
I like it.
We have Nomad. Actually, Nomad is probably our all-time bestseller. It was one of the few scents I kept from the Smitten line that I carried over. But yeah, that's where all the names came from. But yeah, that's if you look at our website, that's kind of one of the things that we want to work towards is, encouraging diversity and like just acceptance of other people's lifestyles and choices.
Well, see, that's cool. And like, I'm glad you talked me into this Troubadour because this stuff smells fantastic. It's dark, but it's refreshing. I like a dark, more masculine scent, and this definitely nails it. And I'm really happy with it. Awesome. I noticed that Colonel Conk is here too. Big company. They're here watching. Mike is a great guy. I'm actually using the Colonel Conk razor that he just sent me a few days ago. And it's a nice little razor here. But one thing I want to say about your soap is the slickness is ridiculous. Like, I'm not having any trouble whatsoever. Cushion is good. Your slickness is absolutely fantastic, especially the residual too. And the scent is strong and it lasts through the whole shave. That's one thing I like. And I don't know if you saw my kind of corny joke the other day when I called your bombs da bomb.
Yeah.
But it is really, no, seriously, it is. And like, I think it brings another dimension to the scent too. I don't know what else is in it, but it seems to be more intense and it really, really, really comes through in the bomb. But like right here, I just got my face a little wet and I'm just kind of buffing some of these spots that I missed here because I have ADD really bad and I can't really shave and talk at the same time. So I'm not doing very well. But as you see the soap here, there is no soap on this side of my face, but yet it's still sliding right through like there's something. The residual slickness is ridiculous.
Well,
and it's great.
I had a group of guys. I call them my amazing shavers. We have like a group message going on. And for probably starting maybe in June or July, probably June, I started sending these guys samples, and they were phenomenal with giving me feedback and, just brutal honesty, which is 100% what I wanted. And so I sent them some really crappy shit just so I could get because there were things that I thought that I liked, but I knew like texture wasn't right and things like this. So I a lot of it was just a learning experience, and for me to correlate. When I made my first shave soap, my previous one, I didn't really get into the hobbyist community at all. And so I was getting feedback from people who had not really used maybe a big variety of soaps. So that was something that I really wanted to change this time and get information back. So there's a group of about 5 guys that have given me amazing feedback. So I definitely have to thank them for, helping me out with that.
Absolutely. Your customer base is what's going to tell you what's good and what's not. And like I said, I've used several different soaps, several vegan, several tallow. But as far as the vegan goes, this stuff is great. And really is. And the initial post-shave is probably not the best of experience, but one thing that you have that nothing else has is how long this feels. Like, I shaved it for the first time a few days ago, and for probably at least the next 6 hours, I was sitting here going, oh, it feels good. And I don't understand ingredients. I don't understand how that works. I got a buddy of mine who does it, and he's trying to make soap, and he understands all the ingredients. But whatever you do in here, it's really long, and it lasts a long time, and it feels really, really good. And I'm very impressed. And the scent is very good too. Personally, I prefer splashes over balms just because I like to double them as a cologne type base. And what you have going on here, I would love to wear as a cologne type. Like I said, it's masculine, it's dark, but it's clean and it's fresh. And like I said, I just did a 1-pass shave. I have no irritation whatsoever. And as you see, I'm constantly rubbing my face like an idiot because it feels great. It's a good soap. It really is. And I hope more people are, going to find you and discover you and try it out.
Awesome. Well, with the aftershave, I have had a lot of requests for an alcohol base. It's not something I have right now. I just have the regular balm. And that's something that maybe I'll work on next year after the holidays and madness is over. But our aftershave balm is a very lightweight. So even if you have oily skin, and Reyes can chime in on this, it's definitely something that soaks in quickly, so it doesn't feel like it sits on your face.
Absolutely.
It is completely alcohol free, so irritation wise and things like that. Irritation is like my big thing with having such sensitive skin. It's kind of like always my main focus is to make sure I'm not causing irritation. Even with my spice scents, I always, try to make sure that I stick well below my limits on the fragrances and the blends and stuff, so that I don't cause anybody.
Tim just asked, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the scent strength? Tim, I would probably say it's around an 8. The balm has probably about a 6, but between the soap and the balm, it's great. I'd say I can probably still catch whiffs of it probably for the next hour or two. But I would almost say probably if she had a splash, it would probably last even longer. It's a very intense scent. It's not overpowering by any means, but it's up in the wheelhouse where I like. I like it to where it's in my face and I know what I'm shaving with. And after I have been, shaving with it for a while and I kind of move my head and I catch whiffs of it, that's what I like. And like I said, I've tried so many different varieties, but whatever concoction and mix you put together is great. And it is definitely unique compared to everything I've got here. So I'm very, very happy with it.
Awesome.
And we have Luton Brushworks just said Troubadour is my favorite scent from Zingari. So far. Zingari. I'm trying. You're too fancy for me.
Ian was actually one of my testers, and he can tell you how many shitty batches he got before, I got my final one. He was one of the good sports who was definitely overwhelmed. I sent them, I don't even know how many tests I sent them. I think the first time I sent them test batches, it was probably 10 or 12 or more of different ones. Yeah, I was like,
so how'd you finally decide on this?
I kind of just, every time they would give me feedback, I would really just kind of make notes, because the majority of my formula stayed the same. It was just like tweaking a few things.
Okay.
And so if they said, you know, I need more residual slickness, we need this, we need that, I would try to take that into consideration and then look at where they graded other batches at, and then like what variances I took a very scientific approach to it since I'm a lab technician.
That's great. That's great. And I discovered what you said, you started the men line in October?
We launched the website and the new brand October 26th. So
okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That's great. You guys definitely need more exposure, especially because I know there's a lot of guys who are like allergic to tallow. And what's funny is like my 12-year-old son, I like to kind of expose him to all this stuff. And I remember one time I had put a tallow base on him. Now, of course, there was no blade in the razor, but I put a tallow base on his face. I shaved him, but he started getting bumps. Now, he's always been prone to allergies. And so, yep, that's Colin who just said me. And so I've had putting vegan bases on him. So for somebody like him, it's great. And the smell, like, I'm going to sit here and keep doing this because it smells really good. And I can't wait to try your body soap. I haven't tried that yet, and I haven't honestly yet because I've gotten so much free shit that I could take 2 showers a day, and I've got more soap than I know what to do with.
Well, yeah, we carry a full line. So we have the aftershave balm, the shave soap, beard elixir, which is like my version of a beard oil, basically.
Okay.
And, a beard wax and conditioner and a bath soap. So if you're one of those guys who like to layer, then we have like the full lineup, which is nice. So.
Now, I haven't tried your body soap, but how would you rate the scent strength on that?
It kind of depends on the scent, but it's going to be very similar to the shave soaps.
Great.
I would say the scent-wise, the thing that has the least strength would be the beard wax, and that's because it is a wax base, so it
sure.
like it tones it down a little bit or something.
Sure.
And I always think wet shavers are weird because as somebody with sensitive skin, I don't like fragrances on my face. So
sure.
Like my face lotions and stuff that I make for myself, I don't ever put any fragrance in. And so whenever I was sending them testers, they were like, you need to make it stronger. And I'm like, you guys are so weird. Why do you like wrong stuff?
Us men like to be overpowering and make sure we walk in a room that you smell us.
Right.
And of course, we want it to smell good. Now, Frank from Strike Gold Shave, another great vegan-based soap, said, he said, what made you want to get involved into men's products?
My husband actually has just as sensitive skin as I do, and shaving has been his nemesis for 25 years that we've been together. And he has a lot of the neck issues. You know, his neck just gets chewed up, and he has tried everything from electric to, everything out there, and the Dollar Shave Club of all things. Yeah. So
you live and you learn.
Around with it, and he was my first tester, and he does not like to change things. He shaves because he has to, not because he loves it. And actually, just using the brush actually has helped him a lot. So he's the laziest shaver ever, though, for a wet shaver. He literally just slaps it on, rinses his brush. He doesn't even like save it to do a second pass. He just does one pass, with the grain, and he's done. And so it kind of started from there, and then we just kind of expanded into beards and things like that. So
how do you think your overall sales are going? Do you think your men's line is selling fairly well?
Yes. Yeah, our men's line has outsold our women's line for the past year or two at least. And it's definitely what I get the most exposure on right now. We, at least, especially locally, I'm the only company that does the full men's line. Nobody else does shave soap, let alone a full set. So that has helped me a lot locally. But the reason I rebranded was to expand out from the area. So
Sure, absolutely. So what do you think makes your soap so much different? Why do you think that people should give you a try?
Definitely if you have like skin issues as far as dryness and sensitivity, that is always, like I said at the beginning, that's always my primary focus whenever I formulate. I formulate for myself first as far as things that my
Sure.
skin can tolerate. And then I go from there and tweak what I need to. But if you have dry, sensitive skin, a lot of shave soap is really high in coconut oil. So whenever it's that dry out, like the actual lather dries out, a lot of times those are high coconut soaps, and
Oh, okay.
coconut oil is fantastic, but it is more cleansing. And so if you're putting that on your face, it just, I mean, it's drying your face out. So that is something that, my post skin feel, I feel like is definitely one of the perks of my product for sure.
And like I said, I've been probably 5-10 minutes now. My face still feels super moisturized and great. And your the thing that's nice about your balm too is, and my face feels very moisturized. I'm getting no irritation. I'm getting no bumps, no red blotches whatsoever. It's a great soap. I really, really like it.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm glad that,
Neil said, how do you feel about almond oils?
I personally don't use them, not because I think there's anything wrong with them. I just don't use it just because there's so many nut allergies. I just avoid nut oils altogether. I don't use any canola, no soy, and then no nuts as well. So
that's great. We have a couple people say, what's the next accomplishment for Zingari in 2019?
Well, I'm looking to work on wholesale starting after the beginning of the year, since we just relaunched and spent months planning the rebrand. I haven't really worked on any wholesale. I kind of just wanted to get through the holidays first. So after the beginning of the year, I am going to start working on some wholesale. Hopefully I can, we're in our location. Well, I'm not very far from you. I'm just about
Sure.
2.5 hours. I'm, kind of central to several large cities, Nashville, Louisville, and things like that. So I'm going to start hitting up some barbers and some in stores, maybe some supply houses for the shaving.
Are there any big companies that you hope to be able to sell your product through?
There's maybe a couple that I would like to, but I don't want to jinx myself.
I get it. Absolutely. That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
We have about 11 people watching right now. Guys, the floor is yours. Is there anything you would like to ask Heather? She's super great. Her products are fantastic, and, anything. So the answer is your question, duck fat.
I know.
And
I'm trying to remember here. Sorry.
My mom says, what do you have for women?
Oh, I have a full line. Right now I have lotions, I have soaps, I have gift sets available, and I also have body scrubs. And the body scrubs are amazing to use before you shave, actually. So that's always my skin prep.
And
so
my son's, sorry, go ahead.
We have a completely different look for our women's products too. This is like the way our women's products look, so it's completely different than our men's products. So they're not going to get something that looks like it was, made for a dude.
Yeah. Now, what do you think makes your women's line different as well? Do you think that they're all so far as just being natural and being as far as for sensitive skin?
Yes, sensitive skin, definitely. My focus is never 100% like on natural per se, as much as it is safety. And there's a lot of things that are natural that are not safe. And there's things that are natural that you can easily overdo and make them not safe. So that is definitely, safe formulation is always a primary goal for me. And I'm actually a certified cosmetic formulator through the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild. So I was. That
sounds like a big deal.
Yeah, they just started offering that this year. There's not a lot. There's really not really very many certifications or anything that I can get. So it was nice to be able to have something to kind of recognize, like, at least the knowledge,
Sure. So my son just said, Dad, did you see what I said? Yes, Colin, we can hang out tomorrow. That's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, see, Ian is saying this soap on the bath soap is about the same as the shave soap. I would
Yeah,
say
that's
so.
great. I'm definitely really wanting to try that. There are a lot of aftershaves on the market. If you release a splash, will it be alcohol or witch hazel based?
That's yet to be determined. I personally don't use any alcohol-based products on my face, but I know that guys want that, so we'll see. My aftershave balm now does have witch hazel distillate in it, but it is an alcohol-free distillate, so you don't have the drying with it. So if you do have oily skin, it's light enough that it's not feeling like it's sitting on your face, and it's definitely not going to cause any breakout issues. But if you have dry skin, it is still hydrating enough without, causing any extra dryness.
That's great. And Roger said, talking to Luton, her labeling is super dope and hopes she offers her logo shirts in the colors too, and other colors.
I actually do have my logo shirts. I'm waiting for my photographer, actually, Chris Berniking. If you're watching, I need my picture. This is actually the shirts that will be on the website. And once they're on the website, if you order them and post a review or come to a show or an open house where I am live, you will actually get a 10% discount every time. So this is going to be linked to a discount program.
That's awesome. You've got great products. People need to learn more about you. I only did it one pass, but my face still feels super moisturized, and you'll see me just constantly going like this, and it feels great, and I'm very impressed because there's a lot of vegan soaps that I've tried in the past, I won't name any names, that have just fallen flat to me. And, I don't mean to sound like a snob, but let's face it, I'm kind of a soap snob now, whether I want to be or not. And this stuff here is definitely within the top 3 with the vegan soaps. Very impressed. You talked a big game, and so I'm like, let's see if she knows what the hell she's talking about. And within the first use, I was like, okay, she knows what she's talking about. And very impressed by that.
Yeah, thank you. I really will say that my testers help give me the confidence in my product. If it was not for them, I'm not sure that I would have the confidence to be like, I know you won't be disappointed if you use it. But yeah. They really did help. And they still do. I still send them the most random ass questions, especially about hardware, because I am still learning about hardware. So I'm like, I need a razor or I need a brush. Actually, I've gotten my my Lowborn. I'm a Logan person. He does fantastic brushes, and that was on one of their recommendations. And I've had. I've learned a lot from them. I'll put it that way, not just on feedback on my product, but just overall, and a lot about the hobbyist community, just the little quirks with it, like every community has.
Well, see, that's great too, because once you stop listening to your customer base is when you stop growing. And the fact that you're listening to people's feedback and you're tweaking your formula to meet your customers' needs means that you're listening, you're responding, and you want your product to be the best. And that's why I wanted to bring you on here and give you the exposure that you needed, because it is a damn good soap.
Well, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Oh, that was Ian about the, sorry. I'm still trying to catch up on the.
It's okay.
They quit rolling. They're just sitting here now for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Duck Fat, for, the labels. It was a long process. The rebranding took several months. A long time, actually.
Who came up with your new design? Who came up with your new logos?
Actually, I used a marketing firm out of Kansas City and San Francisco, and they were a recommendation by another maker of women's line, and I just loved her marketing and her branding. And I had interviewed several marketing firms actually, and I just really loved this firm and what they offered. But they did a fantastic job. We're really happy with it. It's kind of a classic yet modern look.
Exactly. Duck Fat said, I hope you guys ship to Hawaii.
We can, if for some reason, I don't think I have shipped to Hawaii on this new website. When we changed our rebranding, we we changed our platform, so I'm still kind of learning a little bit on the back end of the website. If you are interested in shipping something to you in Hawaii, if you have any issues with that, please just message me and I'll work through it. And we also have a discount code at the end of this that I'll be giving, so it'll be a good time if you want to try it.
Absolutely. What is the discount code, and what are you offering right now?
We are going to offer a 20% off for everybody that's watching the feed. So it's anybody who's, it'll be available for 24 hours. The code is going to be good for 1 week, and the code is live, and it's LIVE, all in capital letters. And that's going to be good for one use for 20% off.
Great, great. Now, does that include your women's line, or is that just your men's line?
Nope, that's anything.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yep.
And you said the code is live, right?
The code is live, and that you have your order in by the 18th, because the post office has said the 19th is the cutoff. So we want to make sure we get everybody's out to them in time if they're looking to, purchase gifts.
That's great. Do you have anything else? The carpet is yours. Collins, my son, said, "Dad, Dad, is the new logo soap new?" Yes, Colin, this is new. This is a new vegan soap that I'm trying. You have not tried this one yet. We'll try it next time you come over. If you're coming over tomorrow, we'll try it out. I think you'll dig it. It's super good. But no, the carpet is yours. The floor is yours. What can people expect from Zingari? What can they expect from the future? What is your plans? What do you want to do with your company?
Oh my gosh, so many big questions.
Didn't you prepare for this? Come on now.
Oh, I told you I was drinking wine.
I'm drinking beer. I don't want to hear any bullshit. Come on now.
Well, okay, so I kept my 3-year-old niece last night and my 6-year-old niece. Does that make it better?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So we do have, we're hoping to kind of adjust our scents as needed as things like maybe if there's a scent that doesn't sell, as well, we'll kind of be tweaking our scents a little bit. We are wanting to add some new products after the beginning of the year. It'll probably be spring, but I'm working on some pomades for men,
Nice.
which I've had a lot of requests for. I probably will be working on an aftershave splash. I'm not sure if it'll be alcohol or not, though. And then I do have a spring scent that I'm already planning on releasing, and nice. I will be doing a limited edition in tallow with a matching aftershave.
Can you spill what's the scent's going to be, or is that still kind of secret?
For what?
For your new spring release.
The spring release is a lime and like an aquatic scent, so it's a really bright poppy. Fresh scent. Actually, my testers, if they're still on here, if Ian or JR are still on here, they it's going to be the blue lime that you guys had. It's a really nice, bright, fresh scent. It almost just makes you want a shot of tequila on the side with it.
Ooh, nice. Zingari, you should make an applewood soap. That's my son.
Applewood.
I don't know what to say to that.
Is that a soap that you have now?
No, that's just my 12-year-old being a 12-year-old. But no, your scents are great. I've only tried your shave soap, but I'm just now rinsing out my brush after 15 minutes or whatever. I can still smell it. I still fit on my face. My face still feels very moisturized. The stuff is great. You have a good product here, and your testers definitely. I can tell you've listened to the feedback, and it's very, very, very good.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. We definitely are always open. We love to see reviews. Even if you have some, critiques, we always appreciate getting the feedback so that we can constantly improve. So definitely, also if you do order online, we have a rewards program. You actually get points for leaving a review. And so you earn credit for that, and I earn feedback so that I can keep making better products.
Nice, nice. Well, you've definitely got something good going here. I'm glad I was able to discover you. Like I said, top 3 of my vegans that I've ever tried. Very good stuff. You're very responsive. You obviously listen to your customer feedback. And that's great because once you stop listening to your customer feedback is when you stop growing. And, I think what you've done here and what you've produced has been fantastic. And I hope you continue. I want to see you guys, I want to see you grow. I will continue to support you and promote you as much as possibly can. And I'm hoping with the people who have come and seen you tonight that they have also seen this too.
Thank you. Well, I really appreciate it. And, it's always nice to talk to, whether it's somebody who, I don't know if you consider yourself an influencer, but someone who has, an impact on the community as well as my regular users and things like that. I just really, really love hearing the feedback. I love hearing the good and the bad, but I really love hearing somebody say, hey, your shit is kick ass. Thank you.
Definitely. And, it's weird to feel that I'm kind of in that boat that is an influencer. And I know, and I hate to say it that I chose the shave life, but the shave life chose me. And, I have the cliche thing that, I had done cartridge razors forever. When I was 18, I remember Gillette sending me, oh, he's an influencer. Shut up, Dan. So my buddies are coming here giving me shit now. But no, I walked into an art of shaving store about 3 years ago, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I didn't know about all this old-timey crap. I spent $100. I bought their kit, and believe it or not, I had that one soap for an entire year. I used one soap every day. Now I don't even know what to do.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, there's got to be something else out there. I went to Etsy. I found he's no longer in business, and I know it's there's a lot of people in this market. It's oversaturated, and that's why I try and bring out the ones that I feel stand out. Bronson soap was the very first that I ever bought that was an artisan made. It's tallow based. It's a regular like barbershop scent. But I immediately tried this. I was like, holy shit, what have I been missing? And then the rest was history.
Right.
But it's an addiction. It is. And, I try and make it look good and I try and make it look pretty. But there's so many out there right now, and that I just try and cut through all the bullshit, and I just try, especially like, for instance, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, Barrister Man, everybody knows them. They're the big guys, that supposedly they got the best stuff. And all I can say is I prefer to go for the newer companies, the smaller ones who have a great product, but just don't have a footprint in the industry yet. And I feel you're one of them. And if I didn't feel that was the case, I wouldn't have brought you on. So I'm hoping that guys will watch this, even females too. And because as you see, I'm still constantly doing this and my face still feels fantastic. It's absolutely great. I don't know what you put in there. I don't expect you to tell me what you put in there, but it's great.
It's a secret.
Absolutely.
It's actually not a secret. It's on the label, but
Well, I don't know if it's your process or what it is, but it's great.
Well, we do have a scent, by the way, that we make in our women's line. We only have one that we scented just for women, and it's in our Gypsy, which was our most popular scent before we rebranded, so we carried it over. So we do have a shave soap for the ladies out there that's not super masculine. It's
Sure.
actually like a cucumber, citrus, kind of pineapple sweet scent.
I'm fighting my light. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back.
So this is the shave soap for the women. I don't know if you see that.
Okay.
But so for you ladies out there, it's definitely, and this is actually, guys actually like this scent as well. It was my #1 seller out of all of my scents before. So guys, if you want something a little sweeter or a little bit fruity, because I don't really have any of those in the men's line, definitely check out. It's the same exact formula. It's just it's labeled with the women's line. So
sure. So what do you think makes your soap stand out? What do you expect people to get out of your soap or any of your products?
Well, I just want them to feel better about themselves. I love when people come up to me at shows and they're like, I ran into you, I bought you some soap, and then I kind of put it in the corner and forgot about it. And then I used it and I was like, holy shit, this is good. This is like, it's helped my skin, or it's done this. I love hearing that it's helped somebody, especially, because coming from, my experience of having such sensitive skin, when you can help somebody, be able to use something that they like, or they like the smell of, and give them more options, then it's always nice to hear that feedback on, they didn't have any issues with it, and that's, not common for them. So things like that, I love hearing that. So not just to have a good experience with shaving overall, but for those of you who do have skin issues, I do love hearing, how it's worked for them. So that's it's kind of like the cook that makes something, and you see somebody take a bite and they're like, this is so good. That's what I love.
My buddy just said, I like this woman. Very straightforward, but personal. Dan, she is fantastic. I absolutely love her. She's great. She's honest. She's open, and she has no problem talking about her product. That's why I brought her on. But let me ask you one more tough question. What do you think sets your soap apart from everybody else's? Because there's so fucking many out there. There's so many that have pretty labels. They have good advertising. And there's some out there that I find ridiculous that try and use sex to sell soap. I'm like, it's fucking shave soap. It's lotion. What can people expect from yours?
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because in my Smitten line, my men's line was like quirky, like beefcake names. So it was like Stud Muffin and Morning Wood and like and yeah. So I got a lot of good responses actually from those, because most of my customers do have, a sense of humor. So, and then it was meant to be, as a joking. I was trying to make something masculine off of the Smitten name. That was the best I could do, evidently. So, yeah, so I did change that. I kind of moved away from that, because I agree. I mean, it's, my testers even all told me everybody loves cool labels. It's like, guys are attracted to cool shit. So I was a little bit worried about having, my labels are all the same with the exception of the scent name. That is different on them. But okay. That is something that I was a little bit worried about. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You got the trope. The Nomad is one of my best sellers. This is similar to a Bay Rum, but it's got an extra punch to it.
Okay. Do you make any lavender scented soap?
I don't. Lavender.
You should consider it. Really? Is that for men or just in general?
Just in general. Well, before I had one called Hipster that was a lavender patchouli, and it was one of my favorites actually. And that one sold okay. Okay. But I just wanted to change it up a little bit. But lavender in general for me really is not a top seller. Interesting.
I've got a couple lavenders. I've given one away just because it didn't do anything for me. All right, my mom's got to go because she's going live at 8 o'clock. She sells paparazzi jewelry, so she's heading out.
Oh, we'll have a good one.
But I'm glad you were able to come on and spend some time with me. And I'm going to be promoting you the next few days. I'll be putting some links down. I'm hoping you'll get some more business because people need to know about this. My buddy here from Mike from Colonel Conk said total opposite here. Lavender is my most popular.
Yeah, and I know some of it just depends on region. I have some scents that I can sell out of, and then someone else can sell something very similar and not sell any of it. So it's kind of like patchouli. And somehow, I don't really have any patchouli soap this time. I'm not sure how that happened. Maybe my limited edition will be a patchouli base because I love patchouli. If it's blended right, not the straight.
If it's creamy, yeah, exactly. Patchouli's great if you mix it with the right amount of stuff. For some reason, my 12-year-old keeps saying you need to make a lavender soap. Colin, I've got a couple lavender soaps here you can try next time you come over. But no, if anything, see, why he asked, what? Dan, what the fuck are you saying? I don't even know. But no, I appreciate you coming on. I'm glad you're able to be open and talk about your product, and I'm glad you're being responsive and talking to your customer feedback, because I said that's key. that's what needs to be done, because once you stop listening to your customers is when you stop growing. And the fact that you're listening, you're responding, you're tweaking, you're reformulating, that says a lot. And whatever you've done, whatever your testers have done, you've pulled off a hell of a formula for a vegan soap. If you wouldn't have told me it was vegan, if I wouldn't have read the ingredients on there, I probably would not have believed it was vegan. It's very well done.
Yeah, thank you. Well, the testers kind of thought the same thing. They kept asking if it was vegan whenever I was sending it to them. And I really hadn't tried a vegan or a tallow. So whenever I made my tallow test batch, I was like, oh yeah, it is different. But I guess I hadn't had, the exposure to it to kind of see. But I know a lot of wet shavers, that's what they prefer. And a lot of them won't try the vegan. So
I honestly think it's because tallow is safe. Tallow, and I don't mean to knock tallow. Tallow is great, but I think it's also kind of an easy way out because you know what you're going to expect. Vegan, I think you have to put a lot more effort and work behind it in order to get it to perform similar to a tallow base, and you've definitely pulled it off.
Yeah, it definitely is a different formulation, and you definitely have to keep tweaking to get the numbers where you want them to be. On your ingredients. But yeah, shave soap's definitely a whole different beast than bath soap. So it's always fun experimenting with it.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you're able to join me tonight. I have nothing else to say. Do you have anything else you want to talk about your business, what you have coming up in the future?
I don't think so. We do have, if you're interested in any holiday products right now for Christmas, like I said, just make sure that you get them ordered by the 18th so that it's guaranteed delivery before Christmas. Don't forget to use the live discount, LIVE, all in capitals, and that'll give you 20% off.
That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, it's a good discount. We have $5 flat rate shipping, and then orders over $75 is free shipping. So if you're interested in any holiday gifts right now, we do have something for men and women.
I'm glad to see that my son is picking on my friends right now. That's awesome.
Way to go.
That's my boy. That's my boy. But thank you, Heather, so much for joining me. This has been a great conversation. I'm glad you came on. Had a great conversation. We had a lot of engagement with people. And like I said, I'll be promoting you the next few days. I'm hoping your business grows because you've got a fantastic product and people need to know about it.
Thank you. Well, it was very nice being here. So thanks for asking me. I really appreciate it. Everybody have a good night, and I hope you enjoyed your drink.
Oh, but most definitely. You take care. All right.
You too.